Let's have a talk about investment management. Investment management is often associated with high and untransparent fees. Fees that over time can cut away up to 40% of your return on investment. Now, I'm not even including performance fees. Those can be outrageous. Now, a lot of these investment management solutions, they're standardized. They do this to reduce their cost and increase their margins. You could basically say that they're stuck in the times of the 4T. Back when you choose any color you want, as long as it's black. Now, some of the more lucrative investment management solutions out there are inaccessible to the general audience. Either they require high amounts of initial capital to invest, or they're simply private. Now, when you finally do find an investment management solution to invest in, you're essentially investing in what's known as a black box. Here, you just have to trust the investment manager with your money. In 2008, over $50 billion was lost because of investment managers who defrauded their clients. What if you no longer have to trust your investment manager? What if we could make everything transparent for you to see and check? And what if we can reduce fees by up to 80%? Meet Quantler, an ecosystem where you can invest in themes that you believe in and value. Themes such as self-driving cars, blockchain technology, and even companies that are trying to find a cure for cancer. You select how you want this theme to be automatically managed, and then you connect it to the broker of your choice. You could essentially say that we allow everyone to have their personal robo-advisor at a fraction of the cost. Quantler is compatible with stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrencies. Now, let me show you how it works using our beta version. In order to do so, let me introduce you to Martin, a guy I met a couple of years ago, then 30-year-old marketing consultant. And we were talking about our savings account and how he accumulated some of his savings, but how he also wanted to do something more with his savings. Because I don't know how it is here in the US, but currently in Europe, we get 0.05% interest on our savings account. Now, one of the options that Martin had was to put his money into what's known as a term deposit, because he could get a higher rate. But he couldn't withdraw those funds whenever needed to. And that wasn't the risk that he was willing to take. Now, the other option for Martin was to do some investing. And then he basically has two choices. Either he has to do the investing and management of his account 100% himself, or he could go to an investment manager and outsource it, done by a third party. Now, Martin is not really the kind of guy who would do the trading and the investment by himself, as he doesn't have the experience, knowledge, nor the time to do so. So the other option was the investment manager. The thing there was that he couldn't influence in what the investment manager would invest in on his behalf. And that was because a story that he told me, that his mother passed away a couple of months before that. And now he didn't just want to invest his money just to get better performance, but he also wanted to invest for a better tomorrow, finding a cure or better treatment for this illness. Obviously, donating your funds would not be something in that category as well. Now, an ETF on this specific theme, so looking for a cure, for instance, for cancer, was not available at that time. And we all know how long it can take and all the effort needed in order to get an ETF into the market and pass through the SEC. For instance, take the Bitcoin ETF, which was rejected again. So we set up Martin with our platform, and basically when he logs in, he gets the option to choose what kind of assets is he interested in order to cater the content a little bit more to his needs. So going through the catalog, he could find all the different themes that we have already set up, either from latest trends to more well-known themes which been around for a long time. And when he finally finds a theme that he's interested in, he could find that not only is he investing in something he's believing in, but also he could outperform the markets. He could see in what kind of stocks or assets he's investing in, and he could find more information about the companies that are in there. Now, depending on the level of expertise Martin could also choose to adapt it to his likings, like removing stocks or putting more weight to a certain category. And when he's finally finished in doing so, Martin can then select how he wants this theme to be automatically managed, depending on his risk appetite. He could be someone who's more passively involved or is looking for a very speculative approach. Now what we see is that a lot of people have heard about Bitcoin and blockchain. But do you know about the 1,800 currently different cryptocurrencies that are out there? So what we do is we package them in several themes in order to make it more low barrier for people to invest in those markets that they think that blockchain technology will disrupt the most. Markets like payments or green energy or trading in general. These kinds of sector-based ETFs are not available yet for this asset class. And it might take some time before this will be available for the general audience. Now, in order to manage this theme, in order to actively determine when should we rebalance or change the way the funds are automatically managed, we do this in the form of code. So your personal robo. Much like what you'd have on the Ethereum blockchain, where you have smart contracts run in Solidity, which would manage the state. This code runs on a single-purpose blockchain in order to manage the state of the account. So when should something be rebalanced? When should some positions be taken? Now, all of the things you've seen so far are pretty much open for everyone to see and check, free to use. But eventually, if you want to execute on this, you will still need to do some hosting. And that's where the ecosystem kicks in. After you've selected what you want, you connect it to the broker of your choice. Now everything is now fully transparent for you to see and check. You see how it's being executed, what it's being done, where is the investment going to. We allow for thematic-based investments, which you can either select off the shelf, adapt to your likings, or get from the community if you have some new ideas. And since it's all modular, you can change the behavior of the management without having to program or needing a PhD. This allows us to better align with the needs of the investor. As we cut down on fees by up to 80%, we tailor it to your needs and likings depending on, well, what your interest is, and we make it as accessible since we have no minimum capital requirements. We're compatible with stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrencies. Quantler itself is a software company. We're not financial advisors, we're not fund managers, we're not investment managers. This allows us to scale without certain regulatory hurdles. Compared to our competitors, which are stuck within their regulatory framework, we can approach markets where they're currently not active at the moment. Now, our business model is very simple. If the value of your invested funds go below $5,000, the network will charge you a fixed dollar a month fee. If the value of your funds is above $5,000, the network will charge you 25 basis points on a yearly basis. Now, in order to reimburse these miners for doing this work, we have created what's known as the Quant token, which is there to fuel the ecosystem and the network. Now, currently at the booth on the other side, so if you have more questions and would like to have more information about this ecosystem and how we utilize it and how it works, please let me know. Our awesome team consists of scientists in the field of blockchain technology and quantitative finance, and you have many years' experience in realizing robo-advisory platforms for well-known firms such as Credit Suisse and Swissquote. As you might have guessed by now, the guy in the story, Martin, that's actually me. If you believe, just like me, that everyone should have access to affordable, transparent, and more personalized investment management solution, check us out at our booth and meet me at the break. Thanks.